The meeting of the minds goes back to the ancient Greeks, when philosophers like Aristotle and Socrates used to gather in what they called agoras, a space where philosophy and business and politics were discussed amongst some of Athens' best and brightest. These meetings generated a cauldron of ideas on how to organize society and achieve happiness. But today, when the so-called brightest minds get together, it's nothing but a debaucherous insane asylum. This week, thousands of the world's most elite executives and politicians jetted off to Davos, Switzerland for the World Economic Forum. Besides January 6th, it's their favorite day of the year. Now, at the party, sociopaths indulge in the highest quality caviar, endless champagne, and psychedelic mushrooms. And where there's drugs, there's sex. It's the busiest week of the year for Swiss escorts. $700 an hour or $2,500 a night. It's an invite-only event. So you have to be somebody just to get through the door. And if you're in, guests are slapped with wristbands and divided by class. White with shiny blue means you're a VIP. Plain white, married to a VIP. Green, you're a VIP's escort. Not that type of escort. They don't get wristbands. At Davos, everyone feels special. And once the mascot's finished, it's time to plan the future. Not their futures, your future.
That order seems to not be the order anymore. We are on the way to a new order, so we are between orders.
A new world order. So what will that look like? But the point is, you have nothing to be worried about. Well, unless you like to eat.
In most of Asia, rice is still grown with traditional methods, which requires flooding the fields. And when you flood the fields, you basically kill the weeds with water, which sounds good, except it takes huge amounts of water. They basically decompose underwater, and when they do that, they release methane. And so actually rice production is one of the largest producers of methane, which is, many times more toxic in terms of greenhouse gas emissions.
Rice is like the top crop in the world. What are they going to replace it with? Lab rice. Yum. Now, so what are the farmers and the fishermen going to do? Well, they don't need jobs because they'll be arrested.
We have a kind of cultural, very ingrained habit of not taking damage to nature as seriously as we take damage to people and property. If you're campaigning for human rights, at least you know mass murder, torture, all of these things are serious crimes. But there's no equivalent in the environmental space. With ecocide, what we see is actually what people are trying to do, what businesses are trying to do is make money, is farm, is fish, is do all of these things that are, producing energy and so on. What's missing is the awareness and the conscience around the side effects, around the collateral damage.
Imagine you're taking your son fishing this weekend, got your lines in the water. Next thing you know, you're in handcuffs for ecocide. Those fish have constitutional rights. And if that doesn't work, we're still not at net zero, you get slapped with a carbon footprint tax. Don't you see? These are well-intentioned people. The people that brought us the first pandemic are now hard at work preparing for the second.
There are things that are unknown that may happen. And anything happening is a matter of when, not if. And that was when we gave the name Disease X. So Disease X is a placeholder for unknown disease. You may even call COVID as the first Disease X. And it may happen again.
The guy who covered up the Chinese lab leak is getting his ducks in a row for the next Chinese lab leak. We're in good hands. How do I know? Because John Kerry said so, living his life at the expense of yours. This is about extracting humanity from the human race. This is about wresting control of the land, sea, and air away from you so they can make you dependent on their food grown in their labs, put you in their cars, make you take their drugs, submit to their machines. They're putting the human spirit out of business. And they're right. It's a great business opportunity. It's vulture capitalism. They're preying on our bodies, and won't be satisfied until they've picked our carcass clean. We were told the New World Order was just a conspiracy theory. Mind control, disinformation police, food and viruses from a lab. So Primetime's now decided next year, we're taking the show to Davos. We have to see this.